Have you wanted to understand the Bible more clearly, but often found it explained in an overly complex way, leaving you feeling intimidated or overwhelmed? Or maybe the opposite, you found the gospel to be explained too simply and shallowly, leaving you feeling bored and without true hope? Well, if you're looking for a succinct understanding of the gospel and salvation, but without watering it down, this video is for you. Now, I understand the Bible is a long and complex book, and I also get it. Sometimes the Bible can seem boring or the gospel seems too dull. But the solution to both these struggles is having a clear understanding of the overarching flow of the Bible's story from beginning to end. So in this video, I'm going to give you a clear summary of the Bible story in 4 broad strokes, which will strengthen your faith and give you hope. And make sure you pay attention to the 4th point, because this is the one that's often overlooked. Now, I'm just like you. I've struggled with the message of the Bible seeming like too much information to grasp, as well as sometimes the message of the Bible seeming too dull or boring. But I found this began to change when I understood the Bible as one cohesive storyline. Furthermore, my reading of the Bible became so much clearer when I understood this one thing about the direction of human history. God's kingdom is coming to earth. In other words, the final state of redemption is God's kingdom coming here, a redeemed creation, not believers transporting off in a disembodied state to a faraway realm in the clouds. This is amazing news. The city of God is going to descend down, and God himself will dwell with us. Isaiah tells us that his government of peace will have no end, and the nations will learn war no more. So before we even jump into the 4 broad strokes of the storyline, let me help you avoid this common misconception so many believers make about our hope being in a faraway heaven and this earth just being like a bad old earth, something to be escaped from. Here's what you have to get clear. The gospel of Jesus isn't about taking us out of our bodies and this earth. It's about redeeming our bodies and this earth. Now in this video, I'm not trying to dive into explaining what happens to people when they die right now. I'm talking about the final eternal state when Jesus returns, which the Bible clearly tells us is a renewed creation, a redeemed heavens and earth. I'm making the point that the Bible doesn't promise a far-off, disembodied, immaterial heaven as the end goal. And thank the Lord, because that's not really what we want deep down. That would be kind of like a plan B escape, like, whoops, plan A didn't work out for God's creation. Deep down, we want this world fixed and made good again like it was supposed to be from the beginning. So back to the one storyline that changed my life and can change yours too. Simply summarized, the one storyline is this. Number 1, God made a good world. Number 2, that good world was distorted. Number 3, Jesus died and resurrected to make a way for redemption. And number 4, he is coming to earth again to restore all things. So let's break these 4 broad strokes of the Bible down a little bit more. Genesis tells us that God made everything and he called his creation very good. He made Adam and Eve, the first husband and wife, in his image. He gave them the privilege of tending to creation. They were told to be fruitful, multiply, and take dominion. So of course, God didn't make us robots without decision-making capabilities, and thus we messed up. Humans sinned, which caused suffering for both humanity and the rest of creation. Humans and creation were now under a curse, experiencing death, sickness, and pain. But God had a plan for redemption. He promised the seed from the woman would come. But this son wouldn't just be another human, he would also be God's very own son. Jesus paid the way for the curse to be reversed. Jesus was born in real time in history, a little Jewish boy who grew up and lived a sinless life. He died, he resurrected, and ascended into heaven. And then he told his followers to make disciples of all nations. But Jesus is not staying in heaven forever. Jesus is returning. He will bring his kingdom here and make all things new. He will reverse the curse and swallow up the final enemy, death itself. So this is the story of the Bible in 4 broad strokes. God made a good world. God's world was distorted. Jesus paid for redemption, and Jesus will make all things new. I hope you can see that on one hand, it's quite a simple story. God's good world was broken, and he is redeeming it. But on the other hand, it's anything but simple. isn't anything but boring. It conveys the most majestic and dynamic story of all. The truth is that the gospel is not too complicated to understand, nor is it flat or one-dimensional. It is an amazing story, and God's work is still actively unfolding today. So my challenge for you is to begin reading the Bible with this framework, this lens in mind. Begin to renew your mind according to the truth that God is going to redeem his good world and make all things new. Imagine how much hope this will give to your life, knowing that the Bible promises a new heavens and earth in which righteousness dwells, where all the pain and wrong will be reversed, a world in which the nations no longer learn war, and where you will experience your Maker face to face, and where you will experience the beautiful, good world that you were made for. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I'll be talking about salvation. I'll be answering questions like, what is salvation? How do I know if I'm saved? And what are we saved unto? I'll see you next time.